we want to take a moment to talk about our tow vehicle. It's our new truck that we got to pull the open range fifth wheel, which is a 41-foot, 15,500-pound gross trailer with a tongue weight probably around 3,000 pounds. Maybe I should do my research before I hit record. So if anybody knew us real well, they knew that we were all up into the Ram family, the Ramily. Tanya, honestly, both of us grew up in a Ford family. She grew up driving F-150s that her dad owned. My grandfather had a F-100 from 1964, and everybody had Fords in my family too.
My favorite was my Ford Focus in the year 2000.
She had one of the very first Focus.
Yes.
And your dad had he had the first F-150 Super Crew in San Antonio.
Yes.
In 2000 when they first came out.
Yeah.
And he was very proud of that.
Yeah, he was.
He told the salesman, he says, as soon as you come out with an F-150 with 4 full doors, you call me. And the guy did, and before they could even get it off the truck, Pop was over there signing the papers to buy that very first one.
Yeah.
We come from a Ford family. Now we had Fords. We knew some ups and downs. We had the Ford Freestyle. Even when we were doing camping and stuff like that, we had the Ford Freestyle. We had a Ford Explorer, the Ford Focus. I had a Ford Contour. We've seen the ups and the downs. We were going to buy an open range. We decided we wanted the 374 BHS open range fifth wheel. And we were gonna buy one. We were prepared to buy a new one for like $80,000. This guy comes on Facebook and he says, who wants my open range 2020 for $58,000? He just dropped a bunch of outside pictures. And I was like, first off, is it brown inside or gray? Couldn't see some pictures. He brings back some pictures and the RV looked amazing. You've seen our videos already. We shared with you, well, both this truck and the RV, but we haven't really talked about the truck much. He said, I don't need a truck to pull an RV anymore. Why don't you take my truck off my hands too? And I was like, I don't want it. It's a Ford. I love my Ram. And then Tanya saw these windows and that the front 2 seats have massage capability.
Yeah.
And she became excited.
Yeah.
And she's like, yeah, I want that. And what got it for me was seeing the upgrades that he had put into it. He had changed out all the shocks to the Fox suspension. He had put the 37-inch tires on it, and he had the Airlift 7500 airbags already installed with the air compressor that works over the Bluetooth, as well as he already had the hitch and everything configured. So it was like, it was ready to go. In my mind, it was a good deal. So that's why I went with it.
We had already done all the work to the truck that we would have to do with any truck that we had, so
yes,
that was the selling point.
Yeah, he listed the truck for the price. We went out and looked. He said that he was selling it to us at trade-in value, and we went and looked at the kind of Ram that we could possibly get that we would need, that would still need things like airbags added, and it was $6,000 more to buy those than to get this. And he bought this truck May of 2021. It was essentially 6 months old at the point when he was selling it to us. He had barely even owned this. So it was still new, still had all the warranties and everything with it.
Felt like that was a blessing that we were able to get the RV that we wanted and a truck. That was amazing. And when we saw it, we were in love. We saw the two of them together. That was it. We were sold.
One of the big debates, and I'm sure that there's going to be the people that get all into detail about weights, how much things weigh, and they're gonna, see that this is an F-250, not an F-350, and people are gonna instantly say, you can't be pulling a trailer as heavy as you do. The way that it's configured with the Airlift 7500 airbags, it can handle it no problem, as long as those airbags stay in good condition. Now, I've done my research, talked with people, because there were people that said, well, the airbags can get leaks in them and then that could be a problem, then it won't be able to support the weight, and all of a sudden that trailer's gonna crush the back end of your truck. The people I talked to said, as long as you carry some air in there, don't ever let the airbags go down to a real low level, because that's at the point when those airbags get tore up. So as long as you keep some air in them, they'll be fine. He says the Airlift 7500s are such thick rubber, they're not going to get a hole in them. You would have to go real drastic to destroy them. So really, the Power Stroke 6.7 turbo diesel engine is the exact same between an F-350 and this. The 10-speed transmission is the exact same between an F-350 and this. So the springs is the one part where it's lacking. The springs in the back are not as good as they would be on an F-350. So, which also makes an F-350 ride real rough. When people talk about their riding in a truck and it's just, they're getting smacked all over the place on the bumps. The difference being the Airlift 7500 airbags made that different. You see this, I'll show you plenty of pictures and videos that this truck's got no problems handling that trailer. And the only thing that I guess missed out on that I would have liked to have had was the heavy dually. I've heard that having a heavy dually can help in the wind when you're worried about swaying back and forth. Having those extra tires on the sides can help add to stability. We've been in some heavy wind so far. I'd say it's done pretty well. We haven't done Wyoming up in the mountains yet.
That's what I was going to say. If you're going through the mountains, that'll be...
We'll have our test yet.
Yeah.
Yet to come.
It's coming.
Subscribe and ring the bell so you will be notified when our latest videos come out.
One of the big difference we've seen is that the back seats of these Super Crew, is that what they're called? Super Duty.
Super Duty.
Super Duty Ford trucks is the back seat leg room is considerably better than the Ram. I was thinking that it would be a benefit to get the Ram Mega Cab, but that didn't really seem to benefit the leg room. It gave them extra storage behind the seats, the ability to lean the seats back a little bit for a little bit more reclining. I think the leg room's paid off more because Daisy has been able to easily get up into this truck. Even though it's higher off the ground, having that extra space back there has given her the confidence where she just hops right back into this truck easily. So that's been a benefit. There's fancy things like turning your two cup holders into 4 cup holders. We've appreciated having the Android Auto, where you plug the USB from the truck directly into your phone, and it brings a lot of the apps directly onto the screen.
Very close to your mirror. I was like...
So,
yikes.
Yeah, we're just sitting here in Port Aransas at the park, and it's not very busy. There's not a lot of parking. I'm sorry, not a lot of vehicles.
Yeah.
Somebody in a Jeep that wants to go fishing just pulled up right next to us and almost at the truck. There's at least 50 other parking spots you could take, but you know, whatever. So some of the other benefits, it has a plug-in in the back seat as well as up front. When I say plug-in, I mean like not just the 12 volt.
Lighter.
Well, it has that, but it also has the 3-prong.
Oh, okay.
Which has limitations on how much it can actually do.
Yes, we figured that out the hard way.
The massaging seats are not as beneficial as you would hope. It's...
Hello!
Are you done playing?
Nope.
What you doing?
You'll have a drink?
I have some soda.
Okay, that is it.
I don't know.
Here.
Okay.
Bye. Bye.
So the massaging chairs, it's like various different air pillow type things, and it just kind of pushes on you at different rates. And at my weight, I think I basically make it stop working. I have to constantly reposition my body to get it to start again because it's like, I give up.
He's moving. Yay.
The guy in the Jeep just left. I guess he thought, why would I park right here? I don't know. The driver's seat has 3 programmable settings. You can adjust the steering wheel, it's telescoping. Some of this stuff may be specific to the fact that this is a platinum model. I have struggled with, like, what are the difference between King Ranch and Platinum, which is not much other than branding, and then Limited, which apparently I guess it's just like suede seats.
For rich people.
Yeah, it's like throw on an extra $10,000 and throw some suede seats in it, but everything else is the same. Well, honey, this truck's for rich people too.
Oh. Not rich.
This truck actually costs more than our RV, which I think is pretty funny. So we recently had the truck detail cleaned, and they got every animal hair out of the back seat everywhere. They're like perfectly clean. I was like, we need to just sell this truck right now and make a profit off of it while it's perfectly clean, and then turn around and sell or buy a slightly older Ram.
I actually had a lapse in judgment and said, yes, do it. And he said, I'm glad he did. I like this truck. I'm gonna keep it.
Some problems we've had. I wouldn't say this is a problem, but a design flaw, and I'm looking right at it right now. They have a radio, right? Do people still listen to the radio? I stream music. Like, I don't let somebody else
Listen to the radio.
pick my music. So they got the numbers on the dash, the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I guess that's for radio stations. I remember that from older cars we've had, but why on earth they need that now with all this digital stuff? But a problem that I do see is this has the luxury of having the heated steering wheel, which is very nice on a very cold morning. That's a great luxury, right? And I know it's a luxury, first world problems. But when you get in there and you start driving and it gets hot and you're driving down the road at a fast speed and you're like, I need to turn off the heat. There are no physical buttons to turn the heat off of the steering wheel. You have to navigate through the computer system to turn the heated steering wheel on. That just irks me.
Find that out a funny way. You're like, why is my hand hot? You had to figure it out.
Yeah, I have numbers that I'm never going to use. I've seen where people hook Ford trucks up to laptops and reconfigure buttons and what happens and things like that.
I'm gonna have to go into hardcore hacking mode.
I'd like to do that. I want to figure out how to turn off satellite radio.
Yes.
It keeps defaulting to satellite radio.
We don't want to listen to satellite radio. And it would just default to start playing that and we're like, stop talking!
Yeah, we don't want that. We
Nope.
want it to default to our Bluetooth.
And then the other thing is the double honk. When you leave the vehicle running, you take the keys out and you close the doors.
Double honks.
I've had people get upset at me. They're like, why are you honking at me, bro? I'm not. I'm sorry. Please blame Ford. It's not my fault. I'm like, what is that? The Ram never did that. I don't see why that's necessary. Or the 30-minute time limit.
Yeah, you'll be sitting in the truck and the truck is running and...
Or even, I'm thinking more of Daisy. Like when we've traveled in the
leave
past,
Daisy in the truck.
you know, I know we're wasting fuel, but we're traveling with Daisy and we want to go in and sit down at a restaurant, and so we will leave the truck running with Daisy in it so she can stay cool while we're in the restaurant.
There's a message that'll pop up and it'll say press OK to keep the truck running. Daisy can't press OK.
Exactly. So now we're gonna have to set a timer to come out and basically start the truck again for Daisy. Ford's got ideas about how things should go, and I don't entirely agree with you on that. The tailgate is pretty much also 100% automated to get the tailgate down. Even the button that you push that's on the tailgate is still kind of a digital button that causes it to release and fall down. It gets stuck and you have to go with all your might and push forward on the tailgate while you push the button to get it to release. And that was giving me flashbacks to our Ford Explorer that had a problem with every door and in the back hatch. Like when we would go to work and I would have to crawl out the passenger side because the driver's side door was stuck. It's like Ford doesn't seem to know how to make these doors work properly. It's little things. I know they're first world problems, but when you spend a lot of money for something like this, it'd be nice if it would
Work.
Yeah. I felt like the Ram had a slightly smaller backseat legroom. I also am picking up on the air conditioner on this doesn't seem to work as well when you're not driving fast. And I thought that was like something that smaller cars had a problem with. The Ram, even on the 1500 with a Hemi, we just had it running, even if it was like 100 degrees outside, it would cool down the interior of the truck. Well, we were 90 something degrees the other day, stuck in traffic for like, what, 30 minutes? And it just was not getting cold in here. It's like Ford has made some sort of a design flaw that causes the air conditioner to not be as cold as possible. I want to say we had problems with that with the Freestyle. Remember? We had the air conditioner problems.
Yeah, we did.
There was something that was breaking and it was related to idling. So it's kind of like they fixed that problem, but at the same time, they're still designing their air conditioner to not be as effective while the engine is in idle. Point to Ram. I'm sorry for some of this negative comment type stuff. There's a lot of positives to this truck.
Yes.
The windows up top are very cool.
Yes.
The legroom in the back is amazing. The 360 camera system has been totally awesome for dealing with driving a very large truck and parking and turning. And if I'm turning like a right turn on a tight street and I'm worried about hitting the vehicle in front of me, I will put the front camera on and just kind of go around that corner nice and slow and making sure I'm not hitting the curb and I'm not close enough to hit the car in front of me.
And that's something that I have not driven this truck yet. And I'm scared because it's so big. And I don't want to drag the curb and all that stuff that he's talking about, or hit a car that's turning and I'm afraid I'm gonna hit it. The fact that it has that front camera gives me peace of mind that when I do learn to drive, I'm gonna be using that camera a lot.
in the end, I think it's a great truck. We get a lot of compliments on it. The guy that we bought it from, he basically designed it the way that it is and looks. He made changes to it based on how he liked it. His name is Mike, and I call this the F-250 Mike version, or Mike edition. It looks great, and I never take credit for it.
No.
If somebody says, man, that's a good looking truck, and I'm like, yep, the guy I bought it from did an amazing job designing how this truck looks, because it does look great. Tires look awesome.
And thank you, Mike, for your truck
And for the RV.
and the RV.
We love it. We will try to develop more love for the truck, squashing all the little things. I guess I feel a little bit better now, as you all have been my therapist and listened to me vent. Now I guess it's time to let it go.
Let it go.
Let it go.
All right, Elsa.
Well, thanks for watching our video talking about our F-250, our tow vehicle for our home. We hope that you guys will continue to watch and join us and subscribe to RV Family.Life. And we look forward to sharing more RV Family Life with you.
Yeah.